All right, hello fifth grade. It is May 11th, and we are almost done with the school year. So yeah, I think we have this week, and the next week's our last week of school, and we'll be having our promotion, and you will be sixth graders. So we're just gonna go over a skill that you're gonna need a lot in middle school, which is context clues. Something we've already talked about, but I wanted to review it to make sure it's in your brain and you remember how to use it. Now, if you are in Auburn, Liberty, or Chicago, you have probably heard me kind of talk about context clues and how I don't always love them as test questions, but it's a really important skill to be able to figure out what words mean as you read. Okay, so you should turn to your packet. It should say May 11th, and this is lesson 11, unfamiliar words. And we're going to go past the first story and go to this one called Here, Piggy, Piggy. Now, the first thing you're probably going to notice is that pig is spelled really differently. And as you read, you'll kind of learn about that. So what I would like for you to do is pause the video and take a minute to read through it. If you want to circle any words that you don't know, you can. And there's a high chance that we're going to be talking about a couple of them together. So go ahead and do that now. Now, after you've read it, let's go ahead and take a look. So you learned about piggy banks and where they came from, and how pig was actually the word for the type of clay that people kept their money in, that type of clay jar. And then someone made a clay jar out of the pig material in the shape of a pig, right? They're kind of playing with words there. So you've read about that. Hopefully you read close reader habits. And then we're going to take a look at these words they want us to focus on. So just like in the first example that you would try on your own or with a partner at home, like a brother, sister, parent, it's asking you to do a couple of things. Now, in class, I've put our steps over here. These are the things we talked about. We said we would circle the word in the text, read the paragraph it's in, because sometimes just the sentence it's in doesn't give us enough of a clue of what the word means. What's the word's part of speech? So parts of speech are like, is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it an adjective, adverb, right? Any of those parts of speech we've talked about. Any clues in the text, and then we guess and check to see if our answer makes sense. Because remember, context clues, I may not get it perfect, but if I can understand it enough to keep reading and understand the text, then I'm doing good. Okay, so here it says, computer, it says peer into the past from paragraph 1. So I would go back to the text and I would circle or underline. My steps say circle, so let's circle Miss Riddle. Let's see. The first time, and I'm going to go ahead and get my step 2 done because I'm going to read the paragraph as I look for it. The first time you heard about or saw a piggy bank, you might have wondered, why a pig? Why not some other animal? Wouldn't a bear or a wolf be more appropriate guard of a person's money? To understand how the pig became the animal of choice for a small personal bank, we need to peer into the past, all the way back to England in the Middle Ages. Okay, so here's my word, right? Peer. Right, they gave us the whole phrase, peer into the past, but I know what these other words mean. Peer is the word that I'm not sure about. So peer into the past. To understand, okay, so peer into the past, step 3 tells me I need to see what part of speech that is. It says we need to blank. So if I'm needing to do something, doing something is an action or a verb. So I would probably put V for verb over here. So I know whatever word I say peer means, it's got to be an action that we do. So what kind of action could it be? So now I'm on step 4 right here, and I'm looking for clues. Okay, to understand how the pig became the animal of choice for a small personal bank, we need to peer into the past. All the way back. And then the rest of it was them like talking about the past. Maybe we're like researching about the past or looking about the past or reading about the past. So I'm going to try those in the blank. That's where I guess and check. So Where it says peer, I might use the word read or research or look and see what makes sense. So we need to look into the past, all the way back. We need to research into the past. We need to read into the past. Read doesn't sound quite as good, so I would maybe go with research or look in what I'm writing about. So context, right? I'm not going to take the time to fill that in because this computer pen is horrible. But my context would be any, like the sentence that it was in. Okay, so you would copy the sentence that had peer into the past into it. Possible meaning. I said it was maybe look. That's an O, I promise. Look, or it could be research. Okay, and then clues, right? What made me think that it could mean looking back into the past? Well, that here, right? All the way back, and then the rest of the text is all talking about this past time. So we're looking at it, we're researching about it, we're learning about it. So I would kind of just say, it's not even a phrase, it's like the whole text. So I would say all of the history. Maybe if I write in cursive, that'll be a little easier. Y'all, we never got to work on cursive. Go on YouTube and find videos of how to write in cursive so you can read what your teacher says in middle school. That was something we were going to do in quarter 4, and we didn't get to do it. I love teaching y'all cursive. Makes me sad. Okay, enough of that. No tears. Okay, paragraph 3, inventive potters. Okay, so let me clear off my annotations here. I like my sound effects. Okay, so boom. All right, so now I'm looking for inventive potters, and I'm reading the paragraph, right? I'm getting step 1 and 2 here done at the same time. I'm reading the paragraph, I'm going to circle and find what I'm looking for. Remember, I'm reading the whole paragraph because sometimes they give me a clue, a fake clue that's closer to the word, but I don't want to be fooled by any fake clues. So here we go. So pig was used to make common household objects, but what's the connection between pig and piggy banks? Hundreds of years ago, banks did not exist as they do today, but people still needed to keep their coins in a place from which they can be easily removed. So they put them into pig jars, which later became known as pig banks. In the 1800s, some inventive potters, began making pig banks in the form of a pig with a slot in the back. Not only were these piggy banks more pleasing to look at than regular jars, potters could charge more money for them. Thus, the piggy bank was born. Okay, you notice when I underlined inventive potters, I did not stop there. I read the whole paragraph. Now I can say, what's the part of speech? Okay, well, potters. I know that something that has ER at the end either means I'm saying it's like better, like I'm comparing something. So if I said like this pizza is bigger than this one or smaller than this one, I'm comparing it. So it could be comparing. Pots, potters. Can you be more potty than? No, that doesn't make sense. Okay, ER and OR and AR as suffixes also could mean a person, like a teacher, right? Teacher ends in ER, and ER means a person who teaches, or a doctor, right, is a person who is does doctory things, and actor is someone who acts. So maybe a potter is someone who makes pots, right? So that would be kind of like this is a noun, right? Highlight that. It's a noun, and it also gives me a clue about what this is. So that's steps 3 and 4. Now, an inventive potter. Inventive kind of reminds me of what word? Inventive. Right, it sounds kind of like invent, it has that root word in it. Oh no, I covered it up. You can see it on your paper. Inventive or inventor. So a potter who invents a type of pot, which is kind of what was happening here, right? Because they said they took these pig clay banks, right, PYGG, and they formed it in the form of a pig. So they invented this pig clay pot in the shape of a actual pig, P-I-G. So that really makes sense with what I read. So I'm going to go over to my chart. Let me get a color y'all can see. And context, right, is the sentence that it was in. You can fill that in with your pencil that you can write with. Possible meaning, person, who makes new, I'm going to say new to represent that they're inventing new pots. Okay. Can't read my writing. Go back and listen to me say it again. I apologize. I do not have a stylus. Person who makes new pots, and my clues, right, were ER at the end of Potter, right, telling me that's the person, and then the root invent helped me, and then just like the information, right, of that they made these new pig pots. I'm not going to put that here, but we know that as we read the rest of a paragraph and it described what these inventive potters did, that tells me, right, what inventive potters means. It describes it to me. Sometimes they will just straight up explain or define a word for you, and they kind of did that for us here. Okay, so this is how you're going to fill out this chart for the piggy banks article and for the one about the animal shelters. And then I would maybe write these down, these steps on your packet. Write them down. Use them when you get to your multiple choice, because you want to use the same steps. That's how you're going to avoid picking the distractor answer, the one that's wrong. It can help you do well on your quick check at the end of the week, and it's going to help you understand whatever you read in middle school, whether it's science or social studies or math or English, or if you ever read something in PE class, whatever it is, this skill can help you there. So rewatch the video if you need to. Go ahead and complete your packet. Make sure you let me know, and connect with me on Zoom later this week. All right. Hope you have a great week, and hope to talk to you soon. Bye.